Go. Bueno, I explained that you needed to add this C-shaped wall around the back of the PaLaPa, the patio, and then draw approximately, well, here you have a dimension that you need to center, and a rectangle. You have counter space on the sides, like to put the salt shaker, the pepper, the spices, and okay, a little tray. Then then you will yeah, draw the grades of the grill. The next thing to do is to symbols. Let's begin with the symbols for doors and windows. In my day, we used to have this. No, not the memes. Templates. Let me see what I have that. Ah, this is what is called architectural template. Um, an architectural template. Have you used one? You can make like dinosaurs or stuff by drawing inside here this plastic, and the symbols come perfectly. Perfect, right? Um, well, notice how there's symbols for toilets, public toilet, or commercial building. This represents a door. You place this at the corner where the hinge point. You draw the door pane or panel, and then door panel rather, and then the arc showing how the door swings. So they had symbols for different sizes of doors. A little bit of history. Here's a symbol for a bathtub and a whirlpool and other things that you could use as symbols. So that was back in the day before CAD was popular. Um, even before that, before CAD existed. And I used to work with these tools. Okay. Another tool, by the way, since we are here, another tool was the architectural scales. They have like this profile, but look like this, and you could have different scales. Ufa. Bueno, let me pause a little because someone doesn't have demo. So, um, symbols for doors. The doors also can be represented, instead of 90 degrees, can be represented as 45 degrees. And since you have that scale, uh, we're going to approximate a 45-degree line. You know, a door swings, the door panel, so you can represent it at any angle, actually. Measure this line 2 feet, because the opening shall be 2 feet. So there you have the door measured 2 feet. And then you're gonna make using ensure that you place the door at the correct hinge point. The correct what? Yes. Don't place it here on this corner. No, this is where the hinge goes inside the room because the door opens inside the room. Then you're going to draw an arc. An arc? No, an arc. Okay. And then erase the extra piece of line, and this line shall be heavy. Heavy like my Chevy. And there you have a simple symbol for a door. The door panel, the door swing, the door strike, and the door hinge. Now the parts of the symbol. How did we do it? Again, 45-degree line. You can approximate it. Draw softly. Measure it. The measure of the opening, in this case, is 3 feet. Dibuja un arco. ¿Un arco? No, un arco. No se burle. And make that panel heavy. How about that? So, I'm not even showing how it looks in the CAD drawing. You could do this easily in CAD. I like to make blocks, one block, and then insert it and size it in different, different scales. Okay. Muy bien. Now, the symbols for Windows, they're easy. So easy, it's cheesy. But let me clean up here a little bit in between at the window openings. And I'm going to place a heavy line in the middle from midpoint to midpoint. Heavy line in the middle from midpoint to midpoint. And that represents the window pane or the window glass. Pane like P-A-N-E, not P-A-I-N. No. It hurts to draw this much. That will be painful. No, but window pane, P-A-N-E. And on the sides, if possible, very softly, a soft line representing the edge of the wall below. Okay. Yeah. So notice how in the CAD drawing shows like three edges. I mean, three lines. These two are the edges of the wall below the window as you cut, slice the plan. Okay. Just, you're gonna draw that. And you have two more windows at the kitchen and at the desk area. So one heavy line in the middle, parallel, and parallel. Soft lines on the side. And there you have symbols for doors and windows. Go ahead and finish this. I was saying that the toilet will be centered in this wall, and the wall measures 3 feet 6 approximately. So this is an opportunity to use that technique of placing, instead of an even number at one end and the 0 at the other end, and you know that 2 is half of that. So half of this, if you make this line 90 degrees, that's half of that space. Okay. Instead of doing math, half of 3 feet 6 inches is 36 plus 6, 42. Half of 42 is 21. So you would need to measure 21 here. Well, did I show you this yesterday? Sí, ¿verdad? In a 90 degree, pair of lines. You place, you can place your measuring device slanted from corner to the other line, from one endpoint to the other line. So measure 4 this way, and you know that 2 is here, and that would be half of it. Okay, it tells you that the dimensions of the toilet, the footprint of the toilet, would be 1 foot 8 by 2 feet 8. Again, what is half of 1 foot 8? The technique is to convert this into inches. How much is total in inches? 20. So half of it, let's measure half of 20. Acá, 10 inches, 4, 8, and half of 8 is 10. I mean 2 plus 8, 10. Ahí está. You can figure out where 10 would be using this little tool. And there you have 10 and 10. Okay, I'm going to extend those two lines like so that I can locate 2 feet 8, 2 feet 4, 2 feet 8, and we're going to accommodate our toilet within that rectangle. Okay, 2 feet 8 by 1 foot 8. And here you make a rectangle representing the water bowl. Approximately, it doesn't matter if it's not exact, a precise dimension. Standard dimension. As long as you are within that rectangle, okay? You know how to make an ellipse. A nice parenthesis shape here, another one here, and connect. Don't make it look too narrow. You want a nice wide ellipse for a seat. You don't want to sit in a narrow toilet. Ew. A nice and comfy seat for your ellipse, or ellipse for a seat. Yeah. And that's it for the symbol for the toilet. Next, we have a cabinet. Yes, that's the attitude. 2 feet 6 by 1 foot 10. Notice that this is a cabinet for a restroom, while you have a cabinet for a kitchen next to in the other room, right? The cabinet for the kitchen is this dimension, 2 feet 1 inch. But the cabinet for a restroom is 1 foot 10, which is 3 inches smaller. In other words, cabinets for restrooms are a little narrower, smaller. Let me measure 2 feet 6. And that's one line you need. And the depth is 1 foot 10. Here's 1 foot, 1 foot 4, 1 foot 8, 1 foot 10 here. And draw a parallel line. There you have the dimensions for that sink cabinet. That should be enough to accommodate a sink. So again, with your best ability, your best effort, draw a nice ellipse. And this is first, and then the wide arc, and there you have it. You can enhance these lines, sharp, making progress. So next, you need a kitchen cabinet. Am I moving too fast? Bueno, who is still drawing? Mm, like four of you. Look at the dimensions in the CAD drawing. Now, how are you gonna make that 2 feet 1 inch deep cabinet? You need two parallel lines. One parallel to this wall, another parallel to this wall. Offset, two offsets. So if I measure 2 feet, just add what you think is 1 inch. Okay, how do you make a parallel? Choose a guideline as reference, and there you have a line parallel to the guideline, parallel to the wall above. Don't do it hard because you're gonna erase. Oh, here I don't have a guideline. I have the wall in the back. So I'll measure 2 feet one time, two times. Those 2 points measured from the back should allow you to draw a parallel line. Approximate 2 feet and those indefinite lines shall be trimmed. You're familiar with the word trim, right? Well, in AutoCAD. You can leave a little extra to emphasize that intersection. Don't worry about trimming perfectly like AutoCAD. Look, AutoCAD trims like perfect, you know? When you sketch, you can leave a little pelitos sticking out. Okay? Now we have a situation here. The cabinet ends here, and then you have this counter next to the cabinet, and these hidden lines or dashed lines. Can you see that? What does that represent? Let me show you. You have a situation here where the cabinet is below and the counter is above, like this picture. You have the cabinet, you have the countertop, the backsplash, and then half a wall that doesn't go all the way up. Yeah, what I call half a wall. I think they call it pony wall. So over that you have another counter, and you can place a stool here and sit down and eat or drink merrily. Okay, so that's what this represents. Here's the cabinet below and the counter above. It says that from this corner to the beginning of it is 4 feet, and then you draw a 45-degree line, 4 feet also, and you offset that line 1 foot forward. Let me do that. um, from this corner, 4 feet. Apa, ¿qué pasó? No, you don't see. You can't see, I mean. Sorry. You need to go like, sir, I can't see. Okay, 4 is here. Will I be able to draw a 45-degree line? Notice how it's close to the corners. So if you slide, you can also do it from the other side. It's kind of hard, but it's close to the corners here, close to the corner, close to the corner. So I think that's a good approximation of a 45-degree line. Okay. And then offset 1'4", 1'4" here, 1'4" here. And draw that parallel line. I don't need this. And that shall be 4 feet in length. Can you draw it, please? Measure 4 feet, draw a 45-degree line, make a parallel line, 1'4", separate it, and cap that gap. And there you have the countertop. Oh, supporting this counter, well, there's supposed to be a wall here under the counter. And because it's under, it's hidden from view. So do that in hidden line type. Finally, in this process of making symbols, because we're doing the yellow symbols. The yellow symbols are fixtures that are permanent, like the toilet. You cannot move it like you can move this sofa, right? Or this stool. These stools are movable. And mouse, they're not part of the building, right? What is part of the building is this that we just did. Toilet, lavatory, sink. Oh, we haven't done the sink. So we're taking care of that. Sink is 2 feet, just like the window. It's a single bin, and you can align it with the window. Give it a little space above a parallel line and a parallel line below that. Um, they come in several sizes, so you're just making a symbol. What is exact is the 2 feet aligned with the windows. Okay, and here you can make another rectangle inside with margins of like 2 inches. And oh, a little circle for the drain, the main drain. And there you have a nice symbol for a single bin sink. You can even round the corners, what is called fillet. But it's kind of detailed. Finally, I know I'm rushing you, but I'm gonna leave you time to complete the drawings, complete whatever you're missing. Um, you're going to draw furnishings or furniture approximately like 1 foot stools. To me, would look like that. So make the other stool the same size. Uh, Look at the AutoCAD drawing has a grid. Can you see the purple grid? Each of those represents 1 foot, like your grid. So if you count the squares like 1, 2, and more than half, okay, that will be 2 feet 8, right? So you can make a 2 feet 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 squares, a little less. 4.5 would be 4 feet 6 inches. You can measure that with your measuring tool. So 2 feet 8 by 4 6, you can measure that with your tool on your sketch. You measure counting the squares. I'm a half square here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet in length, and probably 9 inches in depth. This is to put a flat screen or a cabinet to put a flat screen TV. Okay, um, a desk. It looks like 1, 2, 3 feet 4 inches. Okay, and center it. The rectangle uh, by 1, 2 feet. Okay, 3 feet 4 by 2 feet. So by looking at the grid, you can tell how much each furnishing measures. Okay, I want to give you time for you to complete all the symbols. Okay, and these are in sharp line weight. Don't do it super heavy. Okay, everything that is blue is in sharp, as well as these fixtures. What do you need to be an American? Freedom! I give you freedom to work on your own. Okay? And I will stop this by the name. Okay, there. And keep going until you crash on this side. Puck! Automatically cuts it to half, and then it's asking you, what do you want the other half to be? And you select your other application. But in this case, this is the other. Okay. Half and half. My Arnold Palmer. Okay, then one thing that I missed was the symbols for changing levels. You know, outside the cabana is grass, right? Mud. And then you go inside here and this is concrete. So you have a change in materials. You need to represent the change in materials with a line or an edge. Okay? As you can see in white there. You're outside, this is grass, and you step into the concrete. Okay. Eyes to my screen and my cursor. Then here, if it rains, the patio would be flooded with water sometimes. It could be, right? You don't want that water to go inside your living room. So there should be a step above between the patio and the floor of the living room. Also, this might not be necessary, but we're gonna represent that this is higher also, one step above. How high? 3.5 inches. Now, this symbol represents one level, and then you step up, and then another level, like staircase, right? Steps. And then this hatch represents ground, like the ground below, right? Um, so you're gonna make those two symbols representing, oh, and the line representing the change in level, the edge between one level and the other. Okay, so how do you do it here in the sketch? The sketch. Um, you draw sharp line, a sharp line, one line here, and one line approximately 4 inches or 6 inches above. Bueno, it's just a representation of one step, and then three lines representing the ground, and then the height, 3.5 inches. Actually, this is the size of a stud. Okay, no, not a nice looking guy. A stud means a wood, piece of wood that measures. They call it 2 by 4, but the actual measurement is 3.5. So the builder uses that stud to make the step, and it measures 3.5. Okay, so do the same on the other change of level. One line here, one line above, three lines representing ground, and then the height of the step. Ah. Híjole, you were not here for the show. Bueno. Okay, I'll explain. But that's it about my presentation for symbols.